Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. As we continue into the new year, we'll talk with an expert on your money matters.
I'm Stacy Beck. Are you struggling to help your kids set real goals? We have a guest with a great solution for the entire family.
And I'm Angie Murphy. Are you or someone you know looking for that new job? We will talk about how to do that.
And home remedies for the ills and chills. Do they work for you? All this and more on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. How are we doing? Everybody,
Good.
how are we doing?
We're doing
good.
pretty good.
Off to the races?
Yes, I'm having 2 grandbabies this week.
Wow.
Yes,
Angie,
I am.
You're doubling your grandkids.
I'm doubling my family. Well, in the grandkid area, yes.
Are you
Super
more
exciting.
excited?
I am so excited. I can't wait to see if they look the same, different, like
Two
just
baby
to
girls.
hold them and love them. 2 girls.
Oh my
Two
gosh.
girls. Wow.
You're going to be crazy busy.
We are. And I don't know, they're both being induced unless one just comes on their own.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of planned out. I feel like I can be with one for 2 days and then like the next day we'll be having
Okay,
another.
get some rest in there too.
Okay, tonight.
Okay, I have a new favorite person I'm following on Instagram. Guess who it is? You!
No, but not like it stresses me out, guys.
No, but
Why? You're doing
this was your goal.
fantastic.
Your
This
New
is
Year's
my goal.
resolution.
And I'm sticking to it. And it was super tricky. Like the
Oh.
first 3 days, I was just really like in my head about it. But as it's gone on, it's really like liberating and it's fun.
Well,
I'm having a good
you're
time.
making it look just super easy.
And it's not.
I just
It is
love
not.
it.
So I give it to
Yeah.
Pete. Thank you for inspiring me.
So, you also had something else happen. Da, 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 da.
Another year older and wiser too.
I turned 46.
Good
Like,
job.
That's awesome.
I'm
You're like
50.
a totally
Cheers.
young grandma.
Okay,
Yes,
cheers.
Natasha,
Natasha
thanks for
brought
the
us some
drinks.
drinks.
Wait, oh,
So-
look, I'm actually trying to take it out. That's
We're going to
not-
leave these
Chatter
in.
Swiss. Cheers.
Let's
you.
leave these in
Here's
the
to a
whole
really
show.
great
Happy,
2020. Yeah.
Yes.
And 46th
birthdays
year.
And 46 year.
Yes. Yeah.
Rocking it. Okay. It was a good
I like this.
birthday.
I've never had that one.
stuff.
Lots of love from lots
I
of
don't
people.
have it very often at all. In fact, let's switch gears here for a second.
Okay.
So, for the new year, we're trying a couple of things at our house, and I don't like it. Have you tried these?
Yes.
We're trying to be, conscious,
Eco-friendly.
eco-friendly, and saving the turtles and
I feel
and all
like
that
it
stuff.
tastes. Is that
Okay.
just me?
I think if anybody has ever bleached their teeth, there's something, especially with the metal ones, that it's just so cold. It
Yeah.
tastes weird, and it's
Well, I feel like it
and
tastes weird, like metally or
It's
something.
metally and
And
it
it's
hurts
hard.
my teeth.
It's just like, it's not like a straw that
you
you
can't chew on it.
Not
Like
that I
mine-
chew on my straws, but
There's some that like fold out or whatever, but it came with like a little brush, which
Okay.
is great. But it's just one more thing to do. I
Right.
don't like washing dishes.
But it's
Why would I want to do that?
but
Right,
it's
right.
trendy, right? So
And it's
you carry
eco-friendly.
around your own straws.
okay,
and your
is
little
it?
brush,
They say it
you know.
is. I haven't seen anyone. Have you?
Yeah, well.
I've seen no one at a restaurant.
I'm out.
with a
I
brush.
don't see
So,
anyone.
yes,
This is
Stacy,
not
wait,
trending.
And then I was jealous, Kate. So if you
Maybe
ever
not in our world.
So if you ever carry your own little bento box, maybe like your little chopsticks or rather
No.
I'm sorry, the chopstick box to eat your bento box or Asian food or whatever.
Okay.
So some people carry their own. It's kind of that thing, but it's in the high school world, I guess. So Bo would know.
Okay.
If the girls are carrying like
I'm gonna ask him.
their straw kits, and some of them are collapsible, and they have their little
Oh.
brushes. And then if you're wearing the scrunchie, then
Then
you're
you're
a
dating that
Then
guy.
yes, and then you're a bisco, whatever that means. I have no idea what that means. So this was another hot item at our house on the Christmas wish list.
Okay.
So we're gonna try and hydrate better.
Okay,
And
do you
you
guys
have
really have more than one, maybe 2 or 5 or 10 on a shelf that you
Not
cannot
the
handle?
hydro flask, but a lot of that type of
So
product.
a lot of well,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
when we went through the glass bottle phase, because you're only supposed to drink out of a glass bottle, especially if you're putting any essential oils.
And then
or
we
drops
bought
or
this
anything.
swell bottles.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
were like the first new like
And then
metal.
the infusers. So if you're going to
Yes.
infuse your fruit and
Mel
then
did that.
right, yes.
Yes.
So these two have the little flip up lids. The lids are an extra fee, and then also the straws like
So
additional.
does this straw go into this?
Yes, so additional straws on the inside, and if you order it from our beloved Amazon, you also get the brush.
This is an infomercial.
I feel like it is an infomercial. I don't know. It's just so trendy. Like, I love trends and I love to see all the new things for the year.
I will
so.
say I love that kind of straw 10 times better than the metal straw. Like my
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, I can do that.
I have 3. They're not Hydroflax, but they have the pop-up straw. So if they
But-
fall over,
But I
anyway.
think they mean with this one that it's only like just for water. So like
Yeah. My only
And they-
downfall with those is they don't fit
Hydrate
into
with
like a cup
water.
holder or anything. It's kind of awkward.
yeah.
But I think that you can find like the little, like there's an extra adapter that
Oh,
goes down
yeah.
into like a,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So having to
Cup
keep the
holder.
goals, is super easy. So water
we need to do
consumption.
water.
Speaking of goals,
Yes.
our
you
last
guys?
episode, we all chose a word.
Yes.
How's your word going?
I'm trying.
Have you thought
So-
about your word again?
Yes, I put it on my Instagram page
I-
as my profile. And I researched it and found a little quote about it.
Tell everyone what it is again
Well,
in
I
case
have to look
they.
it up. It's my word is
Yeah.
namaste.
Yes, I'm like,
But
you
then
forgot your word?
I had to look up. I thought you meant my quote about it.
No.
Yeah, so I did. And I feel like through like me trying to post on Instagram, it's me trying to connect with other people
Uh huh.
and honoring
it.
other people's thoughts and that their
I like
person
it.
is good.
And how are you at being more present?
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
So we're actually coming together, trying to come together and writing in the highs and lows journal. So it's been super fun
Okay.
because it's not just highs and lows. Like if you could be a different name, like a superhero name, or
Oh.
like what would your
All
name
in
be
that
for-
journal?
Yeah, it's been super fun. So just that coming together, and I've had my moments where I want to tune out. I'm like, no, they are only going to be this age for this long. So really trying to focus on that.
Good.
So yeah, I mean it's
hard.
going. It is hard.
It
It
is.
is hard, especially with social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blowing us away, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, good.
And I did sign up
Sucking
for
it in.
adult yoga.
You
You
did
did?
not.
I did.
Did you go?
No,
You
not
just
yet.
signed
It's-
up.
It's for adult education on Saturdays, like very simplified.
But you're going to go for
Education.
6 weeks?
Yes.
My gosh,
And
you're like
you are
all in.
too.
I thought, why did you sign me up?
Are
No,
we
but that's a
your
great
partners
idea.
in the acrobat?
I was just going to
Yes.
go to the one
The one night.
with the partner. I went home and told Chris we're going to go to couples
he
yoga.
in?
He said if Rhett goes, I'll go.
I think Rhett would go.
So I think
Well,
that,
Keiko?
I mean, I would love to do it at the studio also, but just the Saturday thing kind of seemed a little more realistic when I was signing up for
Yeah.
soccer. But we're getting the chop, so there's still time.
Oh, okay. You mean the chop to close
The
up?
chop,
Oh my
chop,
gosh.
yes,
You get to your goals.
to get on to the next segment. On that note, next on Studio Chatter, taxes, investments, budgeting. What's up with money in 2020? That's coming right up. Welcome back to the Chatter. Keeping track of your money is not getting any easier. So we've invited Russell Olson from Larson & Company, PC, to help us figure it all out. Welcome, Russell.
Hi, Russell.
Welcome.
Hello,
Stacy
thank
and
you.
Natasha know you well, but we have never met until today. So I'm Angie. Hi. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I'm Russell Olson. I grew up in Spanish Fork. I was here when it was a small town.
Not
You're a
small
Don?
anymore.
I am a Don.
Okay.
I grew up on a sheep farm on the East Bench, and Dad always told me to go and get an education. And I guess I followed what he said, and I went and did that, and I learned how to be an accountant.
Okay.
So now
That's
I'm
smart.
a CPA here in town, and I do a lot of taxes, a lot of audit work, just
So you're
accounting stuff.
about to get crazy
Really
busy.
busy.
Yep.
Okay.
Not already.
I'm
Yeah, when does it start? Like when is it like really big high
Well,
for that?
the way we do it at our office, it's about February 1st is when we really start, bringing the clients in and gathering
Going
their
through
stuff.
everything. I noticed that we're just getting our W-2s out to the employees over at Clower Dental. So I figured people are going to
It's on
start.
their way.
Yep,
Yep.
So we could talk taxes,
we
but
could.
let's not.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So besides taxes, what is your expertise? What other things in your office do you guys do?
Well, I have at one point in time been, I've done some financial advising. I've been
Okay.
licensed to do that. I got busy enough with the CPA stuff that I'm actually I don't do that anymore, but I have done that.
Okay.
In terms of investing in securities and
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Well, I think that was kind of the interest here today also, because you've been given advice as an advisor. What are some of the common mistakes that people are making with their money?
Well, I think it's not going to come to a surprise to anyone that when you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. I don't know who said that. I have to give that kudos to whoever said that. But when it comes to money, that's what we do. Like we don't think about it.
And think that it's just going to be there forever, and maybe there'll be a big mishap or emergency.
Well, there's going to be that, but it's not going to happen to us.
Right.
It's gonna happen to somebody
Happens
else.
to other people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So what's the best way to plan for things like that?
Well, if you're human like me, I'm not like, I know I'm an accountant and I'm supposed to be all like
Perfect at what you
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
money
You don't have
guru
a
and all
spreadsheet
that.
for everything?
Well, I do, but
Doesn't always stick to it, right?
I'm human, and just like everybody else, I lack discipline sometimes. You just
That's
sort of,
good to hear.
I know it is.
It's kind of comforting.
well,
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not alone. Nobody's alone in the inability to just have a little bit of discipline and put money aside, spend less than you make. I remember one time I was asked to give a presentation on personal finances, and I stood up and I said, spend less than you make. And then I sat down. Now then I got like that was
Yeah.
a silly little way to
Right.
start it, but then I got up and finished. But that really is all there is to it. You spend less than you make, and you'll be fine. So back to the discipline though, since I'm not super disciplined like everybody else, I have to just be disciplined once by setting up something that happens automatically. For example, just a transfer from the checking account to the savings account to make sure that we've got that emergency fund, or if we're saving for something specific. But I do it, I set it up and I make it automatic so that I don't have to have discipline
You're not
anymore.
making
Yes.
like the conscious choice.
Right.
You're just making it
Because
once.
if we do, when it comes between like, oh, this trip or this extra thing at TJ Maxx, then you don't have to make that choice. It's already made for you. Yep.
Well, sometimes that's a difficult conversation between, partners, spouses. I mean, how would you advise to bring that up, or how often to have that conversation and say, this is the spending for this,
right.
for the month, either it's budget or
Instead of
not
budget, you
for
had a
kids
good
or-
phrase. What do you use instead of that?
I like to call it a spending plan, because any more people that hear the word budget and they just cringe and don't want to think about
we
it.
feel like suddenly restricted.
Yes.
And we think we're an adult. I can do with my
Right.
money what I'd like. But a spending plan,
It's
if-
how am
if
I
this
going
wasn't
to
in the
utilize
plan,
that money?
yeah,
Right.
I love it.
I have to tell you guys how big of a simpleton I am. This is how it worked for me the best,
Okay.
because I'm visual
Yes.
and all that. You can put a budget on paper, and that's great and good, but then you don't have that with you all the time.
Right.
The thing that worked the best for us, and I'm not saying that I do this now, but it worked the best when we basically took the cash out of the bank that we needed, that we had to spend that month on whatever, groceries, gas, whatever, and we just put it in envelopes.
That's what
And I
that's
realized
what
that
Stacy
is so,
does.
like,
My daughter does that too.
but that worked so well for us.
Because a card to me just
You don't
like,
see it
There is
coming and
something
going.
to that, though.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to spend a big bill if it's, maybe a 50
You
or
know
100
I've
that's
got
set
my
aside for
100 in
something,
here,
right?
right.
And it isn't electronic. I mean, the plastic is pretty easy to just do the transactions, and then the numbers start adding up, and then it's kind of the aftermath. You're like, oops.
And all the subscriptions and different things like that. Sometimes I look at that on my bank statement and
Yeah.
I'm like $6.99, $3.99, $4.99, but all those add up as well.
I think it's a good visual too, Russell, with kids. I remember bringing my check home and I had my envelopes and I spread the cash out on the floor and helped one or two of my kids like, so let's start putting it in envelopes. And there were more envelopes than there was money. Or let's say, this envelope is for clothes and there's, let's say $100. Okay, what are 4 kids' needs this month? Whose needs need to be filled? And they were all
Yeah.
in on that decision. So then they could be like, well, he needs shoes. I only want
A shirt,
a shirt,
right.
or and it was kind of like all coming together.
No,
and
I
then
think
they,
it is important that everyone has
and
a
then they
say
didn't come to me
and a knowledge.
and say, "Hey, I need money for this," because they knew the money's budgeted if it's there. So I think it's a good plan for kids.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, as we are on the heels of tax season and maybe overdid it on the holidays, what other advice would you give for maybe organizing for taxes or keeping things in line for the holidays?
Well, I would just encourage everybody to just be patient. Like I remember some time ago, I used to get the amortization schedules for like my mortgage and different things, and I would just look at them and I would think,
Never.
this is never going to end. Like I sat there and stared at it, like staring at it was going to pay it off.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just remember just wanting it so bad for it to be paid off, but it's not, and it still isn't. Like
Yeah.
it's just you
Right.
just have to be patient. Don't beat up on yourself if you screwed up during the holidays. Just take a deep breath and start paying it off.
It's
and
never
be
too
patient.
late, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, if somebody wanted to talk a plan or long-term goals or taxes or any of those things, how can we best get a hold of you?
Well, my office number. Call Nikki down at the office and she'll
Okay.
set up an appointment.
Okay.
I'm afraid she knows my schedule better than I do.
Okay.
So I would
And
love
you're just
to,
on Main Street.
just up right there on Main Street, and I would love to talk to you about anything.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
All
they've
kinds of finances.
definitely given some good advice over the years. When I talked to Nikki today, by the way, just to confirm that you were joining us, she said that she was just coming back from corporate. So you're in Spanish Fork, but there's a couple of other offices,
Yeah.
correct?
we have an office in South Jordan, which is probably the main office, and we have an office in Moab and in St. George.
Okay. Years ago, I feel like you used to have one in Delta. No, did you still
We
have
did.
one? Okay.
Good.
And that office
Wow.
is still there.
Okay.
In fact, Todd Holt, who
Okay.
is from here, went down and he actually owns that firm now and does a great job.
Fantastic. Okay.
Good. Well,
That's
good
how
luck.
old I am.
Good luck these next couple of months.
Thank you.
Yeah.
May
some
you come
sleep.
up for air come April 16th.
Yeah.
Well, your
You have the-
calmness
you can
and
have the
demeanor makes me
chains.
feel calmer about my spending plan, so
Well-
I'm going to give it a shot.
as we speak, I'm mentally preparing for tax season.
Okay,
And it's
good.
going to be the best tax season ever.
Oh, good. I like the positive attitude.
Me too.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Next on Studio Chatter, helping the teens in your house to set good goals may not be that hard. That's coming right up. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Helping your teen decide on and stay motivated to reach some big goals can be a challenge. So with some help for all of us, welcome Wileen Benson to our table.
Hi, Wileen.
Thank you. Thanks for
Welcome.
inviting me.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
We're so
Oh, I
excited.
feel like it's like over. Like New Year's over.
Happy
Oh, no, no, no.
Almost
It's just
Valentine's.
started.
New
It's
year,
just
new
started.
decade, lots of new
Yeah.
stuff.
We're still talking goals. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about who you are and what your background is before we jump ahead into some fun goal setting.
Oh, well, my name's Wileen Benson. I am an author. I actually brought, this is my fourth book,
Oh, my
The
word.
Seven Gateways.
Gateways.
And this one, I'm just super proud and happy that it finally got out. It's been about 3.5 or 4 years in the making.
Oh my goodness.
Congratulations.
Totally,
Yes.
thank you. It's a totally inspired path to really living your purpose. And kind of something that came out of this, I just created this last month, is a planner that helps you stay focused on finding your purpose and living the life, you know,
So
that
if
you've always
you're
wanted
writing
to.
books and making goal plan, like agendas for other people to follow, have you always just been super goal driven and this has been like, just what's led you to this?
Oh, this has been an amazing journey. I would say probably my journey really began about 8 years ago.
Okay.
I've always been into like personal development and stuff like that. But about 8 years ago, I had a heart attack. And it was caused by stress. And that heart attack was really a wake-up call for me. the stress was caused because I was living a life that was not filled with purpose, and just kind of getting up, going and clocking in, at work, and then I'd come home and just do the same thing every day, and I just felt like I wasn't really living a fulfilling life.
Okay.
And
At that point, was your goals like too high of expectations, or just not?
I really didn't have any goals. I felt like I didn't even have time to set goals because I was so busy working, being a mom, being a wife,
I think a lot of
volunteering.
Americans feel that way.
Right.
Exactly. So it's like
Okay.
if I can just get through the day.
Right.
So after that heart attack, the doctor told me I had to just no stress, no physical activity for 6 to 8 weeks. And so that was the time when I really started doing some soul searching. I really started looking at what do I want to accomplish the rest of my life. Felt like I was given a second chance, and now what am I going to do, with the next 50 years?
Wow.
Well,
So hard that you had to go through that, but beneficial to us.
Exactly, yeah,
Yes, and
because
to others.
that's where this book came from. It was that path, kind of out of that dark place into living a life of
So
purpose.
tell us a little bit about this GPS.
Yeah, I created this process that I call Daily GPS.
okay.
It helps you stay really focused on the things that are important, but also helps you set your goals. I created an acronym that makes it really easy to remember. A very inspired life starts with prayerful action. So A stands for activity, physical activity. Do some sort of, you don't have to like work out or whatever. You can just do little stretches or, whatever you want to do. Just some sort of physical activity to get your body moving. And then the V stands for vision board. So that's where the goal setting comes in. And just connecting with your vision board. What do you want to accomplish today, this week, this month, whatever it is that you are focusing on. Inspired life, I call it your inspired shortcut. So just asking intuitively, what's the one most important thing that I could do today that would really help me to fulfill, this goal that I have.
Okay.
And very inspired life, L stands for limiting belief. We all, when we're stepping into a new, doing something new, we all feel some fear.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Stepping into doing something that you have never done before, those fears are going to come up. They're all those fears are rooted in some sort of limiting belief about how I'm not good enough, or, never done this before, I don't know if I can, what are people going to think?
Right.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
All of those things.
Yeah.
And most people don't want to look at those limiting beliefs, but I really encourage people to discover them, find out what
Okay.
they are, and then take care of them. I have a process that I help that helps people get through that and turn those into something really powerful. So let's see, life starts with, so S stands for scripture. And the scripture, I just have people close their eyes, open the scriptures, and just intuitively flip back and forth from page to page, until they find the right spot that feels. For me, with my eyes closed, I feel like there's a light around the page, and I'll just go to the center of that light and then open my eyes and look at what I'm pointing to.
Okay.
And even the word that you're pointing to is super powerful. And then you can read the scripture, and what I found is you can get additional information about your goal, or you can get confirmation on what, the next step that you received.
Okay.
So that's a daily process.
Yes,
Okay.
this is a daily process. And then P, prayerful. So prayerful action starts with prayerful action. P stands for prayer, and it's really a prayer of gratitude. After all the information that you've received, and broken through those limiting beliefs and all those things, there's just a wonderful connection with God, thanking Him for what you've received and asking for any further instruction. And then A, action, stands for action. Take it action. Because once you've gotten your next step and you know what you're doing, just get up and go to work.
Wow. I feel
So it's calming.
It's calming, and I think sometimes, but it can be maybe even daunting and overwhelming. And I
to
love
start
that,
a new process.
Well, I
of
love
goal
the fact that
setting.
you taught.
Right.
So I think sometimes you can be like, I'm going to do all these things, and then there's so many goals. So the way that you have things set up, is it like baby steps?
It's one goal
Okay.
A lot of people talk about, oh, you want to have a goal in your health area, goal in your whatever.
Right.
But one goal, and I change my goal every week. So I only do a goal that is, it's small enough that you can actually accomplish it in a week.
Yes.
And then you
Yep.
clean off your vision board, and then you start fresh the next week. And that's, why I created this planner, because it just makes it so simple.
Do you want to talk more about this planner?
I could.
I would love to
share
see
that
what it
with
looks
us.
like. Yeah.
Okay, sure, awesome. This was, actually, it just takes you through the process. And the first page is your life's vision. What's your life's vision? What's your big dream? And this is a 30-day planner. So again, I try to keep it really baby steps, like you're saying. But you have a life's purpose. And I'm a mentor, and so I help people find their purpose and live their purpose. So I do have some processes that actually help people understand. I just had a guy over today, and we did a private session, and he now knows what his life's purpose is.
I think that can be huge to find that out, correct?
Oh, it's
like
so
the
huge.
foundation of
Yeah.
really why we're here. And I think sometimes we do, like before your heart attack, get so caught
Exactly.
up in just living life
Yes.
that we don't see the bigger picture. Like, what am I really supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
Or who can I help? Who can I
And he thought
change?
he knew, what his
Right.
what his purpose was. But after we had this conversation, and it was only about a 5-minute process.
Oh,
so
really?
it's like super. People think I lived for 50 years and I didn't know what my purpose was. And now I have this process that, a 5-minute process can really help you understand something.
Okay.
I do a 1-hour phone call. It's like when I feel like I've been on that path, and now I can bring people with me. It's
Is there
so
like one
exciting.
good question that you would advise us to ask
Yes,
ourselves within to
yes.
find that?
I actually do have one
Okay,
question,
what is it?
and I'll share that. Why is that important to you? So if you set a goal, ask that question, and this is a question that
Okay.
you'd want to ask your kids, if you're helping your kids intuitively set goals, is why is that important to you?
Okay.
And usually you have to ask that question about maybe 10 or 15 times to get to the real answer, because it's like, because I want other people to see me as credible. That was one of the answers that the guy today gave me. It's
And then you ask
and then
again,
you
why
say,
is
why
that
is it important
important?
that you appear credible to people?
Yeah.
Well, this, and well, why is that important to you? Why is that
And so then
important to
when
you?
he sets that as a goal, then how do you start obtaining that, I guess, for him, if that's his purpose?
Yes, so he knows now what his life's purpose is, and then I ask him, what is that going to give you? How are you going to feel when that is accomplished? And so then he gave me a word or a phrase of what he wants to feel, and I said, what is one thing that you could do this week, that you could actually accomplish this week, that would make you feel that way?
Good. Break it down.
Well, 2 things really quickly before we have to wrap here. I'm super curious about the GPS plan for children.
Okay.
So share with us
Okay.
how we can find out more about.
Yes, I'm super excited about this, and this is like brand new.
Okay.
You guys are the first person that's even seen this.
And I have littles. So
Revealing it here now on Studio
Do tell.
Chat.
Yes.
Well, my daughter actually drew these pictures of bugs and butterflies. We're gonna create a children's book with bugs and butterflies in it, and and she's got a whole sheet. So we've got 2 sheets, 15 on one and 15 on the other, bugs on one and bugs on the butterflies, and butterflies on the other. And we're going to do a calendar so they can put a sticker every time they do their daily GPS. And it's an activity pack, so they have little activities that they get to do that help them to understand why it's important to speak the words that are, that your words actually create. And so, lessons on that. And it's just like 5 or 6 little sheets, so it's not overwhelming, but it's fun. It's, going to have these fun graphics and, the stickers and everything. So I'm
that's
just super
ready to
excited
go.
about
Okay.
This This is still in creation, but it'll be ready by the end of next week.
Okay.
So you've got a
Super
whole
awesome
plan
more
for
of
all ages,
home-based
all
plan
family.
for
Yeah.
LDS Church also. So there's an offer that you are
Yes.
sharing with our viewers.
This
Please do tell.
Yes. So the kids GPS activity pack, I'm planning on that. I'm thinking that that's going to be like for ages 6 to 11.
Okay.
And then anybody over that can use the regular adult GPS
Okay.
planner, so then it kind of covers everybody. I do have a gift pack that any of the viewers can reach out to me and get. I'm going to read the landing page because I don't have it memorized yet. It's wileyandbenson.com, which is what my website is, /kids-GPS-activity-pack. So it's kids GPS activity pack with dashes in between
Okay.
each one.
Okay.
And I'm sure they're going to flash that up on
Yes,
the
we'll
screen
flash
too.
it as
Okay,
well.
Okay.
awesome.
So awesome.
So they get the whole downloadable kids activity pack, so you can, you know, just run off copies. I am going to create a planner
you.
just like this one, but you know they can have it digitally.
And if anyone wants this planner, they
And-
can also go to that website
Yes, go
and
to
order
that
that.
website, and if you go to that
Okay.
website, I know that they came from here, and I'll also
Okay.
send them the information about the daily
Great.
GPS for
Perfect.
adults too.
Thank
Wow,
you so
thank
much.
you.
Very
You're welcome.
inspiring.
Yes, thank
And
you.
I actually have one of these for each one of you today.
You
That's so
do?
kind. We're gonna have to keep New Year's
figure out my
resolutions. I know we do. I'll ask you why is that
Okay,
important, Stacey?
hold that thought for 1 second. Coming up next on Studio Chatter, do you use home remedies for that cold or some other malady? Stay with us to talk about that. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Chicken noodle soup, sliced onions. There are lots of thoughts behind home remedies. What do you think? What do you
Well,
think?
I feel like you're thinking a lot about it, Natasha. So teach us.
So, yes, no, maybe. We've really tried a lot this particular season just because we got hit hard. So mid-December, even until now, we had colds, we had the flu, and nothing was really kind of shaking like the chest cold that just kept lingering. So I have to tell you, the one thing that we absolutely tried and it works is the onion.
You did try it?
Oh yeah, and so you slice the onions just very thin and just put them in your socks
And
overnight.
who test drove this for you?
Barrett. I had to bribe her. So I'd actually done it before. My mom had suggested it last winter when she had a chest cold. She likes the red onions better than just a traditional yellow onion.
Is there like
so
better or
onions are
not?
very porous. I don't know that you've ever heard that if you slice an onion, even to put it in your food, you really shouldn't save your onion after it's been chopped. Like put it in the food, use it for its purpose, and don't keep an onion.
No.
Because if you actually leave them in a room, like I guess even in the days of the bubonic plague or something. So if you had these onions exposed in a room, they will turn black because of they
pull the toxins and whatever?
They do pull the toxins. So it's interesting when you pull these out of your socks, they will be a little discolored and you will smell like a casserole. It's not pleasant.
I can't
It
stand
sure
when I
is
eat a lot of
stinky.
onion and then I'm just smelling like it.
Right.
Does it
well, and
linger?
there's definitely something, there's a lot of people that take garlic pills, which
Yes, yes.
which
Right.
absolutely, I think that works too, even if they say that they're odorous or less
Odorless.
odorless. That
Yeah.
sounds strange to say out loud. But I definitely think there's something to
So
this.
one
two
onion
two
for
nights.
your 2 feet.
So you can half it and then
Okay.
just cut them really thin. I would just not use socks that you ever want
And
to.
that was for
Okay.
a cold?
So the
Chest
the
cold.
chest and that yuck mucus, that kind of
Yes.
gets stuck there in your throat. So 2 days and that knocks it right out.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so that's
good
for
to know.
that's for the deep
Wow.
chesty, and then so for sore throats, I love a good herbal tea. This is kind of the one we like, just the organic throat soother.
Okay.
And if you put fresh squeezed lemon, I always think is better, and honey, there really is something to that.
Isn't that called
also.
a hottie tottie?
Well, not if you don't have
if you
that.
don't
Not if you don't have the whiskey
What
in
else
there.
do you
from what
put
I
in
understand.
that mug?
So just really let this steep so it really, so the tea bag really, so you get all the good stuff out. And then I actually like to squeeze kind of the tea bag in there, even if it's in a
My
in a little
husband's
tea cozy.
Dad made
Squeeze
them
it all
like
out.
take the NyQuil and then tip their head back, like lay down and just like swallow it slowly down their throat. He said that it worked better that way.
It may.
That it maybe burns, like that's the only one I can think of, like maybe burns the mucus out or something more. I always thought that
Maybe.
was odd.
So TJ Maxx or places of the like also have these lemon honey spoons. So if you have little ones that don't
Little
love
tea
it,
and
you
then
know,
just-
oh, I don't want honey, I don't want a seed, whatever. So those are kind of fun and cute also to make it more attractive. And then the essential oils. So I'm not huge essential oil most of the year, but in this season I just love to have the diffuser going with all the good stuff.
Okay, so you use a variety.
Oh, so
What's
my
your favorite?
So my favorite ever in the whole world is Breathe.
Really?
That is a good one.
Yes. So
I need a diffuser apparently.
Oh,
I
yes.
bought one and it died. So
I didn't. I'm out of On Guard, but I have another one that's kind of the same, but it's basically to just ward off
Well,
the
I
bad.
went to a
but-
baseball banquet once, and we got that as a free gift with the little handheld diffusers.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought it home. Well, the handheld diffuser with many oils.
oh,
So I brought it home and test drove them. You guys, it really does do something to you. You can't just like inhale all different flavors. I just kept trying one, doing it, trying one. I got sick.
Yeah. Oh.
So there is something chemically, not chemically, but it is doing something to you.
yeah.
So
And
be
I
aware
like
of
the
that.
I like the eucalyptus. Just a few drops in the bathtub to just soak in the oils in the tub and just kind of get that hot steam going.
I will say, since I didn't bring anything, we do have the oils, and I'm not big on them, but I've bought like the kit to have on hand. Whenever I just like start to swallow, I'm like, you know those first
yes,
10
the On
minutes,
Guard?
Yep.
I start getting On Guard, and probably like every 30 minutes, I'll just put a drop on. It takes
It
care
does.
of it.
They also have the On Guard beads. I don't know if you've
I've taken
ever-
those
Yes,
before.
I love those too. And
that's better.
And then they have the Breathe. This, and I say they. I'm just speaking doTERRA in particular, but the Breathe stick. This is my favorite for the
So
kids.
do
I
you
mean, it's
put it-
very comparable to the old Vicks, you know.
Vicks,
So,
yeah.
and I just love Vicks.
'Kay, so
anyway.
this
I
is-
like put it up my nose, on my chest.
Yes,
like,
my
on
sister
feet.
all
Yeah,
the time,
yes,
and
love
on her
it.
lips.
Do you think there's a big difference? Because this is probably 30, and that's probably 4.
So this is definitely more mild. So if you can buy like an infant or a toddler version of the VapoRub, and they also do. I think you can even buy like the appliques now to put on their chest, or there's even a steamer. But this I love
we smell
for the
that?
kids. Yes, there's probably not even hardly any left.
Just
but
kind of-
just for their little
Just a little on
chesty
the
area,
chest?
and
Oh,
again,
that
you
just
guys.
brought back memories of my childhood of
The-
Vicks, and then a
and
big
then a
old
hot
cloth
towel or
wrapped
cloth.
around
But
it.
there's something to putting it on their feet too, and I don't know if it's because
Wow.
Yeah, why is it?
I don't know. But they seem to
I feel
always
clear
do
now.
better when
Oh,
it's in their
that's
feet.
good.
And
Thank you.
finally, like you know that you're going old school and old fashioned when you just get the mustard plaster. Like that's just when you run from your mom, run.
I didn't even
Oh
know
my
there
gosh,
was
you
a
guys!
mustard
And then
plaster.
I had to bring like the ugly, dirty T-shirt and rags to illustrate because I mean this is when I was a child. That's like what Grandma and
you
Mom
heard
would
of
do.
this?
Like
Yeah.
because
my
it
mom
would,
used to do
yeah.
that.
I mean, you have to get out like the gloves and the old T-shirt, and you just knew it was coming. And there's something, I guess, with the actual mustard when you make the little concoction, the paste to put on. Like the more you put on, like the hotter it gets, or with the layers or something. But it will pull that chest cold out of you.
Well, there's something to be said
So-
about like the natural products.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like we've kind of like pulled away from them. But I feel like with this essential oils and stuff, we're kind of more
natural.
embracing that
Let's
more
see what
natural
you have,
remedies.
'cause we only have
Yeah,
like
you
11.
know,
Well, I
I
didn't bring
think,
very much,
you know,
but my
Dave
daughter
Bell-
Mallory, for a stuffy nose, she does like the neti pot instead.
use
Oh,
Yes, yes,
my nasal
saline.
cure, yes.
And
yes, in
it
the
kind of
pockets.
freaks me out, but you plug one nostril and then lean over the sink and do like the hot water, and then there's a saline that you put in there, and it just drains it out. Then you blow your nose slightly, and then you do the other
Yes.
side. She swears by that.
So that's just
because she
for
doesn't
sinus?
like
I think
to
that's
take
more
medication.
sinus, yeah. And this
Yes.
one, you just use bottled water, so you don't have to heat it or anything, and it's literally like you
Just
squeeze
up
it
there.
up and out.
Ow.
And another find that we found, we all got a bunch of the hot tub, like whatever it is, goo in the hot tub, like a little rash all over. I don't know what it was.
I'm scared though.
I don't know if anyone's ever gotten.
tub were
Like
you in?
sometimes you can get a rash in a hot tub, like if the
Really?
bacterias or whatever, but down it, the gym, not to name a name, that they got it. And so covered with this hive and rash. And so you're supposed to put like an antibiotic ointment on it, like a Neosporin or something, anti-itch cream. So I went and bought a bunch of everything. This worked the best. It took those hives down almost immediately, and it was so easy to
Calamine
apply.
spray.
Yeah, because you could just spray it all over them instead of having to rub all over them.
Do you have to rub it in after you spray?
No, we would just spray that.
Is it
and-
like a bug spray, so it just kind of goes like, you know?
No,
just
it's like
fine
kind of
mist?
seared through. Yeah, it's like a hairspray type thing.
Okay.
But that was a good find. And I just bought a little of everything, so that was good. Then I have
good
the
to know.
Vicks. Yep.
Okay.
Wow, you
Good.
guys are good. I don't have anything.
We haven't got the hot tub.
I
to
literally, like, we've been accessing this like literally all in the last month. So, I mean, even have the onion on hand still, but it works. It does work. Like it literally went away 2 days afterwards.
You know what else I've loved is my mother-in-law gave me from someone that had made it for her, but out of the dish rags, and then they put rice in it, and it's a hot pack.
Oh,
they
yeah.
heat up.
Oh.
I
All the
love that
time.
because you can just wrap it. However, I need to find somewhere that like sells those.
How long have you
Maybe
had yours,
A
though?
long time, and
Does
it's starting to get
does it
dirty.
smell weird?
A little bit now when I warm it, I feel like it's time for a new one. So I
Okay,
need to
yeah,
find
I
a
feel
good
like
one.
after time mine got a little funky.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming up next, do you know someone looking for a new job? Stay with us for some help. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. With unemployment numbers at their lowest in memory, finding a new position can be a bit tricky. So getting a little help is not a bad idea. Let's welcome Dave Reben from Express Employment Professionals to the Chatter.
Thank you, Natasha.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, so where are you located? How did you get here?
I got here
And
in a
why
car.
Spanish Fork?
Right, right.
324 North Main Street in the Crumble and Cookie, chocolate factory building.
Oh, upstairs.
Yeah, Cold Stone. We're right upstairs above them.
Okay.
And that's fairly new.
Which one?
I know the cookie. I know all
Everyone
about the
knows
cookie.
about
We are
that.
locals of the cookie
No,
place.
your business and staffing and
Yeah.
how you-
Express Employment Professionals is the largest independent staffing company in the world. Offices, 869 offices. We have offices in Africa, Canada, and all throughout the United States. We're just the new kids on the block.
Okay.
Just down the road in Spanish Fork. We've been open going on 2.5 months now.
How did you get into that
Right.
industry?
Well, I was looking for an opportunity to help people, and I love people. It's just the way he made me. And I was trapped in another industry that I thought I was just going nowhere.
Okay.
And I started looking for franchises for a couple of years. I looked at all types and sizes and shapes of franchises, and I learned there was something very, very, very special about Express.
What is it?
Well, first of all, it's a company that was founded by two remarkable people in Oklahoma City, and they have a support team of about 400 people. Their sole responsibility is just to support the franchisee.
Okay.
And they were founded on principles and values that you don't see anywhere. My former company, I could not say the word God, and I hope this is not TMI for the cameras, but on the outside of this building, it said, "God bless America." And then I went and visited out there 2 or 3 times, and I said, something special. They care about people, they care about family values, they care about giving people hope.
I love that. That's a great concept. So you were hooked.
Drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak.
And where did you open your first location? I'm assuming you have.
Or is this
few?
your first
Or is
location?
this your
it.
first one?
This is
Oh
it.
my
This is
goodness.
all in.
Oh, wow.
Going for it.
I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but really about all I know with staffing services, I go back to the Kelly Girl days.
Yeah.
So when I was in college, I enlisted as a Kelly Girl.
I don't even know what
Excellent.
that
And
is. Do you?
and
She's so old.
and
She
actually
is old.
worked,
Just kidding,
worked a
she's
couple of
younger.
times on location in a few offices, just helping, while their staff was either away or just temporary help. Educate us, please. Does it work kind of the same way? Is it the same theory?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to come back to that.
Okay.
My mentor, actually, it was a temp. Her name is Renee Carson, and she owns, well, let me tell you her story real quick. She was a single mom, and she came in as a temp, like you're talking about,
Okay.
to do reception at the front, and she liked it, and they liked her, and they hired her full time. Well, then they said, we really, really like you, want you to work with us and become a partner. She said, Renee Carson, I don't have any money. They said, we understand. We still want to make you a partner, and we're going to give you dividends until it gets going for you. Well, she bought them all out in the end, and now Renee owns 2 locations, and she's my mentor.
Wow.
And I get to talk with her about once a week. And as a single mom, she went from struggling and not knowing what was going to happen all the way to the top within Express Employment Professionals. Wow. She's an icon, and she does it year after year. She's been there going on 31 years now. Back to your question, where we're at, Natasha, is there's 4 things we do. We do direct hire.
Okay.
We do temp or flex, which is kind of what you're talking about. And we do evaluation hire. With evaluation hire, it gives the employee or our associate the opportunity to kind of test drive a company, and the company an opportunity to test drive them. And what happens with evaluation hire is you have this threshold of time of about 16 to 20 weeks that you know, Natasha, who you really hired or didn't hire. You don't know in the beginning because everyone puts their best foot forward.
Right.
And then, so what we're doing is matchmaking, if you will.
Yeah,
to
kind of a leap of faith and see if it sticks.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and then at a certain point you make a decision, hey, this is a good fit. And then they become their employee, and we help someone else, put someone else to work.
But during that time, you're the employee, they get their checks from you.
Absolutely, we pay them every week. They qualify for insurance, vision, dental.
Really?
There's a lot of misnomers about staffing that people don't know.
Right.
Wow.
About 73% of what we do is full-time placement, full-time, about 40 hours a week.
Okay.
Wow.
Is-
I had no idea.
Is this a tough time to be finding jobs because the unemployment is so low, or is it a tough time to get jobs filled?
It's a tough time for people to find work on their own.
And why is that?
Well, they don't have the resources, they don't have the capacity. One time I asked somebody who was out of work, I said, do you have a job? And they said, no, I'm out of work. And I said, no, you do have a full-time job. And they said, well, what's that? And Stacy, what I said is your full-time job is finding
Looking for a job.
a job, yeah.
That's tough, though. That's tough to find a full-time job and not have the resources.
Well,
like
at
you said.
Express, what we're doing is we're doing the legwork for them.
Okay.
So that was my point. We're at this working 8, 9, 10 hours a day to find the right associate and the right company. So we're helping good people find great companies to work for.
So is
you're
there a fee or anything?
That's
that-
$12 trillion.
Okay, perfect. That's worth the job.
But you're coordinating efforts between both sides, right? So
Yes.
you're talking to both people that are interested in finding work and then also the employers that are looking.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I can give you an example, if that's
Okay.
all right.
Yes.
We have a client in Payson called Payson Auto Body, Cameron. Great company, great man that owns and operates it, Payson Auto Body. Well, there's this young lady that needed a place to work. She'd been looking for about a month. Within 72 hours, we found her a place to work. She's now there full time, and it's a match made in heaven.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so awesome.
That is
I want to go
awesome.
back to your personal life and see if your Zig Ziglar certified coaching skills help you in this profession.
Well, I think a lot of things overlap in life,
Uh-huh.
right? Stacy, what Zig taught was if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
yeah.
Yeah, you knew that.
Yeah.
Zig was an amazing man. He was an icon. A lot of people don't know, but he lost his father at 5. He lost his sister 2 days later. He's been working to support his family since he was 7. He had a goal to be in a pilot in the Navy. He fell in love. He put that goal aside, and instead he decided to go sell pots and pans door to door. Zig did not make it until he was 45 years young in life. He was scratching and climbing like all of us. And then something happened. He had a dream. And then his book morphed out of all this called See You at the Top. He went to 30 different, you know the book,
I know
Natasha?
the book. Oh, yes.
Went to 30 different publishers and rejected. Maybe you know Angie?
Nope.
And then after that, Mary Kay got involved. I don't know if you know that name.
I do.
So she said, I'll buy, I don't remember how many copies, the first 6,000 or something like that. And then it took off. And now millions and millions of copies in many, many languages all throughout the world. See You at the Top, Over the Top, Born to Win, and many, many, many other books.
So never give up, so you give them hope to find a new job, a new place, something where they're supposed to be.
To quote John C. Maxwell, when there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. I think we provide hope. To quote Bob Funk, one of our co-founders, we provide that hope.
So do you help with resumes or anything like that at your staffing service, or?
I think we help with helping people put their best foot forward.
Okay.
As far as resumes, that's a help, but we have vocational testing that we really attempt to figure out who somebody really is and what the best type of scenario they would fit in. We have a 10-step process for our clients that we put associates through that vets, and we ascertain, is it a right type of person and the right type of company? From drug testing to reference calling to background checking to skill sets,
Right.
testing, and so on and so forth. There's 10 steps.
So not just picking a job and saying, oh, this one's available, this one.
No,
You're
no-
really
no
trying
darts
to
on
find,
the wall.
right.
We
I
don't
like
do that.
You're really caring about where they're going to go.
We
and
really
that it will fit.
want the best person and the best employer to work hand in hand and connect.
Great.
You're going to be a great
Well,
asset.
yes,
for it.
if somebody's interested in stopping by or looking online, best place to get your information.
Well, this is a little bit unconventional, but they can call my cell phone.
Okay?
I love it.
They can text my cell phone. That's 801-529-7900, 801-529-7900. And what's unique about us is we're locally owned and operated. And so you're dealing directly with the owner and our staff.
Okay.
That is great. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
here.
Thank
And best
Thank you,
of
ladies.
luck.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Grateful.
There's more studio chatter coming up. Welcome back. We made it. What did we learn?
did. We had a fun guest
It was
list.
so
We
fun.
did.
Yes. Geez, finances. Getting our ducks in a row there.
Talking openly about our finances with our spouse.
Maybe doing an envelope system. I don't know.
You're gonna
So
attempt
you were
that?
onto something. You should have written your own little book.
Book.
No, I just did what Dave Ramsey told me to do, and I've just done it.
You could have called it Stacy Beck's Financial Planning several years ago.
I don't know if anyone would want to follow that plan.
You'd be surprised.
The plan of spending.
Well, hey, let's talk about this then.
But that was the phrase, the plan of spending.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
See? You're
invented
good.
paper plates with sticky tabs on the bottom so they wouldn't blow away at the picnic.
You invented that
I
in your
invented
head?
it. Yes.
And no one's caught on?
But see, that's what I'm saying. If I would have patented those like a million years ago, just like your book.
That you told me to write.
Or hot tub guru.
There you go.
It's a word now.
We're quite brilliant.
So,
if
yeah,
anyone
we-
wants to
we
follow
sure are.
us. Oh.
So we're definitely not Visco girls. We use
We don't-
old-fashioned home remedies.
I will say,
Yeah.
I do love all of your remedies and that you really use them.
Yeah.
I go straight to the drugstore and get what they tell me
Just
to get.
what's easy, I find myself doing.
But you like
So I
tried
need
stuff.
to try out stuff.
Well, so I think it's in conjunction with both because you can certainly take the prescribed medication, but these are tried and true methods that like your mom did.
Right.
I think, everybody's been
Well,
attacked
and you
by
think
And we
for
deter from
thousands
them,
of
and now
years.
it's like, why did we do that? It was working.
Yeah.
So why are we taking all these medications?
And probably a lot better. Like an onion is probably a lot better for you than
Than
putting
taking a
all
bunch
that
of
stuff in
time.
your body.
and
Yeah.
a lot cheaper too.
Okay, when I'm sick next, you'll
Yes,
hear
I'll
from
come
me.
Okay, take a
Take care
picture
of you.
and send
Yes.
it to us.
I think there's something to what is it? Feed a fever? No.
Scarlet fever?
No. What am I saying? Feed a cold, starve a fever. So the chicken soup.
Scarlet fever.
There you go. There's some, yeah. So it's true. Maybe
Okay,
their
I
evening has
gotcha.
been too long, and we even had Diet Coke to help. So
Thank you for that. And that was fun to have
Yeah,
a little
that
bit
was
of
so
swig
kind.
in our mugs tonight.
Yes, it was.
Well, it was. So
I like
fun
this
to
for every
celebrate
time.
You.
Thanks,
And I hope
guys.
that you had
You're
a
good friends.
wonderful birthday and the new
I did.
babies
I felt really
coming.
loved. I wanted those babies on my birthday, but I'll take them in January.
Are you
Did
still?
you really?
I did. I really did.
Some people don't want to share their birthday with
people
others.
don't
I
like
would
to
love to
share.
share the attention. Like I really don't like it.
I'm kidding.
That will be fun though.
It will
Because
be
from here
fun.
on out, you'll have your January parties and you'll
Yeah, I
all
will.
be
And then
gosh,
there's going to be
so
3 of us.
fun.
3 girls,
3 girls.
3
my word.
granddaughters.
Then it will
Knox
be-
will be a spoiled little guy.
I know. He's outnumbered for a minute.
He's gonna
But
be.
he's so kind to the girls, so
Him and Bo can hang out.
yeah, they will. They'll become better buds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
fun.
so I'm
So
excited.
exciting. Yeah.
coming up,
so
guys.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, keep on your New Year's goals, ladies.
Let's keep doing it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the chatter. Do tell a friend about us.